I think we are ready, aren't we?
I think so. As
All
ready as
right.
you'll ever be.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the BDSM podcast. Booze, Dessert, Smoke&Meats. I am Professor Porkloin, and I'm here with my awesome co-host.
The Meat Viking.
And we are continuing the states. We are what? Probably halfway through ish, maybe a little bit more than that.
I don't think Bon Jovi would say we're halfway there yet.
But we're getting pretty damn close.
Yeah.
But I know that there's still a lot of other states that we got to get through. And I have to shout out to people who have been watching the Iowa because you guys gave us our first 1,000 views.
That's true. So
So we have to shout out to everybody on that one because we don't know what the hell you guys were doing or why the hell you wound up doing it, but 1,000 views is a milestone for us.
hmm it's very much is. We're very happy about that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get that penny and we can share it with all of our listeners.
hmm We'll like we'll have to toss it around to everybody.
Yeah, so congrats. Now we just need to get those other ones up there. I think the next closest one is like 100 and something views. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
no.
we'll try to keep on doing that quality content for you guys.
hmm
But so today, man, we're gonna talk about Missouri.
Yes, we are.
If you're from Missouri or if you've known people who live there, they basically call it Missouri or misery
Yep.
because why the fuck would you live in Missouri?
hmm So
Now, I've
I
only been to St. Louis.
I got a couple of friends
Have you been through?
been through, not to.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You got a couple of friends that live down that way?
I actually pulled a dirt there, and it's Mississippi that they were stationed at, not Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well, then that'll
uh
be the next one, right? I think Mississippi would be next.
Mississippi was first.
First, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're dumb.
MISSI versus MISSO.
Yeah. Well, so we gotta have a safe word for the day.
And this will come up a little later. Um, but the safe word for today is blizzard. So,
We're gonna be coming in like a blizzard.
oh yeah. Also kind of fitting because it is that time of year for the
Yeah, it
people who live
is.
in the US or wherever it may snow. So,
Yeah, snow is starting to come. You
mm,
guys getting snow up your way?
yep,
Yeah. F that.
yep.
I think the high for today is like 55 for me. Yesterday was like 81. So
It'd be nice to see 50 degrees again.
no snow for me.
Well, that's part of where you live.
Yeah. Uh, you got anything in the cup today?
I do not. It
Yeah, neither
is a
do
little
I.
early. I was thinking about actually getting champagne to celebrate our 1000, and then I was out and buying stuff and forgot to get champagne.
Yeah, fair
Because,
enough.
that's not like something I normally buy in my day to day.
Yeah. But I do not have anything either because you're right. It's a little early for our recording today, and you know,
You
not
can probably
a
tell we're both just waking up for the most part.
yeah.
So,
But let's start into this journey, man.
mhm.
Um, one of the first things I have to say about Missouri, and this is a cool thing, um, is the fact that you can get booze at a gas station.
Like big boy booze or like,
Yeah,
oh,
like big boy booze.
nice.
That was probably a big shocker for me the first time that I went because I went for one of my friend's weddings and we were in St. Louis and again, super cool, but yeah, we were going to the zoo and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna stop off and get some booze before we go into the zoo." I'm like, "All right, we're going to the liquor store." He's like, "Nah, man, we don't have to do that here. We can go down to the gas station." I wound up buying a bottle of Captain Morgan at the gas station. I was like, "This is fucking cool."
Nice.
So I have to give my hats off to the people in the state of Missouri that actually passed that law to say, yeah, you know what, you can go anywhere and buy hard liquor, and there you go. So I thought that was really cool.
Like if America hasn't figured it out by now, it's the best way to go about doing things because otherwise you're just gonna have to buy it from the black market
Or make your own.
or make your own, which is probably more illegal than buying it from the black market.
No, no, it's not illegal to make it your own. It's illegal to sell it after you've already made it.
Fair.
So, I mean, shit, I make beer and mead all the time, and that's legal for me to have. I think as a home brewer, you're allowed to have like less than 400 gallons, and that's okay. I think after that, you have to start doing other shit because the government likes to take money. But
I'm trying to think, what would 400 gallons actually look like? That's a lot. That's like a spare room filled with nothing but gallons of mead or beer from floor to probably about ceiling.
yeah, no, it's not 400, it's 100. I actually
Okay.
looked that up.
Okay. So
Still,
so it's about a quarter of a room.
yeah, most states permit home brewing of 100 gallons of beer per adult per
Wow.
year and up to a maximum of 200 gallons per household annually when there are two or more adults.
Okay.
So 200, let's just say 200 gallons. You're still thinking half of a room.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fucking gallons, man.
Yep. That's a lot of gallons.
So,
So I found a food that kind of goes with the wintry theme here.
all right.
Um, have you ever had a slinger from St. Louis?
No, I didn't have a chance to have one of those.
So you want to kind of go over what you know about the slinger?
I don't know a damn thing about the slinger.
Okay.
Last thing I guess it's something about an egg or there's something on top of that.
So from what I can tell is it kind of looks like a breakfast bowl in this photo here. It's a core amalgamation of potato, chili, egg, cheese, and meat. Um, but we have like a little bit of history here that says that it is speculated that the Eat Right Diner, owned by the Powers family near the Busch Stadium, claims slingers began in their diners um, around 1985 because customers started ordering food and they're like, just put a scoop of chili on it. And then it looks like another speculation is the Fenton store in the 70s states that a truck driver from Texas came in and ordered chili on his eggs, and it evolved from there. Two waitresses started saying "sling it" to the cooks instead of explaining the whole order included chili, cheese, and onions. Slingers started at Eat Right, so little typical back and forth. This was here first. This was here first. Um, but it's not more. It's like we've had amalgamations similar to this before, where you just have your meat, your eggs, potatoes, you cover that shit with chili, throw some American cheese on it, throw some onions on it. Um, 99% of these slingers are going to be made with sausage. However, it's not uncommon to have like hamburger, bacon, ham, and I did see a recipe that actually had T-bone in there, which I thought that was
Ooh,
interesting.
yeah, that sounds real good.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think we've kind of seen the same thing numerous times so far.
hmm
And it kind of goes back to that what we were talking about a couple episodes or even last episode about how some different states have taken the same ingredients and kind of made it their own, but they're
yep.
very similar when you're looking at the overall thing. And I guess the slinger is going to be one of those breakfast things that you would have. And again, when we get to Ohio, we could talk about the
hmm
skillet stuff that we used to eat after we would party hard and have a good old time because I feel like that's a great hungover food because
Yeah.
it's got all the greasiness, all the protein, and everything that you need.
Yep. And like for the foodies out there, I threw a picture up for those of you watching on YouTube of a slinger, and this looks like they put the chili underneath of the omelet, which I would say is okay. And yeah, try and argue with me that it's not a hearty meal.
I'd probably throw a little bit of some hot sauce on top of that just to
Oh
give it a
yeah.
little spice.
Oh yeah.
So, I've seen other pictures that have like over easy eggs and not scrambled or like an omelet.
Yeah. I'm trying to This one's like a this is the kind of slinger that you pay like $10 for. You got avocado in there. They have a bowl. You're eating an egg with a spoon. So that's not a slinger. Okay, Google, you can stop now. So, but yeah, so that I thought that would be something to kind of bring bring to the forerunner to start this episode as far as food wise go.
Yeah, sounds pretty damn good. I found another thing that's a nice little breakfast one too. Um, and it's a pastry though, so you can kind of talk about the next one. But this one is the chocolate croissant. It's called the Darkness Croissant because I mean, apparently there's some French origins in St. Louis, and a lot of people wanted to have some better than average pastries. So this Darkness Croissant is basically chocolate. It's a chocolate croissant. So think of a normal one, but just think of it as dark. And what they do is they have chocolate butter in it, which apparently that exists. I didn't know that that was a thing. And you still have all the dough, you still do everything that it is, but you come out with this nice flaky, gooey chocolate croissant, and then they throw a bunch of dark chocolate and sprinkling on top. So it's basically looked like a cocoa grenade.
Ooh, you had me at grenade.
So it looks pretty cool, and I think that I would definitely give that a shot because I like freaking donuts and all those other sweets. So if I saw a chocolate or something called the darkness croissant, I would have been like, all right, we're gonna try this and see how that turns out.
Hmm.
But there's definitely a place called La Patissiere Chocolat. It's some French stuff,
Some French
and
stuff.
they have like a bunch of macaroons. They have the darkness, and it's a bunch of little pastries that you can get. Um, and this is in St. Louis, so
Hmm.
they do custom cakes. And I guess if you're ever in St. Louis, go ahead and give that a shot when you're looking at if you want to spend a boatload of money on something that's probably not that expensive.
Right. So I think I know where you wanted me to segue into,
Yeah.
and that was with the gooey butter cake.
Yep.
So apparently, this was an oopsie doodle that turned it out to be really tasty. Um, Quite a few claims to the cake, but the most widely accepted origin says the cake was made by accident in the 1930s by a German American baker. Allegedly, he was trying to make cake batter, but accidentally reversed the proportions of butter and flour. Um, and so with that happening, the gooey butter cake was born. Deep butter was used for coffee cakes, while the gooey butter was used for things like Danish rolls. Um, and that when the butter mixed things up, he ended up making this gooey butter cake, which is essentially almost like a coffee cake, but like I don't know, man. It's gooey. It's tasty. It's like you ever have Jello cake? That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody's out there who's had Jello cake, that is what it reminds me of. Where you've got that gooey center, and sometimes it's like a little runny. It's just so good. So let me see if I
Now,
could pull up a good picture of a gooey butter cake real quick.
now it kind of looks like I don't know what the hell, like a
Like a
crumble cake.
lemon bar.
Yeah, but it almost looks like a crumb cake
Yeah, yeah.
without the crumbs on top, you know?
Mm-hmm. See, this is the image that I had that made me think of lemon bar, which is going on the screen right now. Let me know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because this is the style that I remember having them in. But apparently, you can also get them in like the custard pie style. And this is powdered sugar on the top for anybody who's curious.
Not cocaine.
Not cocaine. Although it is St. Louis, so you never know.
That's true.
That one's artisanal. It looks good. But yeah, this reminds me of like lemon meringue bars, but it's a completely different beast. They're so delicious. It's one of those ones that you just have to like you have to try it to understand it. And then once you do that, you're like, this is something I really like, or this is something that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I really like it. So,
Seems like they have some interesting foods,
mm-hmm.
you know. I think you got to kind of talk a little bit about some of the barbecue,
We
you
do,
know, because
but
it is Missouri, and we've kind of talked about Kansas with the Kansas City, and I mean Missouri has the same thing. Um, and I know that they're very popular for like burnt ends and their ribs. So it's interesting to kind of see the difference, but very close similarities that they have when it comes to smoking their ribs or doing brisket or things like that.
mm-hmm.
It's always funny to see people with their wood style choices, whether it's cherry or hickory, and then some people have the charcoal briquettes, and but I think we've kind of covered some of that stuff previously.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's good to at least just mention some of the fact that Missouri has some good foods like burnt ends and pork ribs and beef ribs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess our listeners, you could always go back to a um, different episode where we're talking about cuts of the meat and even some of the smoking stuff.
Right. And
So
well, something to keep in mind too, the Kansas City style of barbecue is going to range more on the sweeter ends of things. Whereas like if you go to like a Texas style or like a Carolina style, those are gonna go for like the hot and smoky sides.
yeah,
Um, but in Kansas City style barbecue, you're looking at using a bunch of molasses and like sugars and stuff like that in your rubs.
yeah. So and again, I think we've kind of pointed that out too.
Mm-hmm.
But can't go wrong with any type of barbecuer.
Nope. Nope. So I found something that I didn't know was a thing.
Okay.
However, apparently, excuse me one second. Apparently, there's something called a St. Paul sandwich, which originated from St. Louis. Um, you can't get them in St. Paul, but however, it looks like you can get them mainly in St. Louis, and it is a combination of east meets west. Um, doo-doo-doo. and this is essentially an egg foo young served with white bread on top, mayonnaise, and lettuce and pickles. And it is noted that it is the staple of cheap chop suey dives, the kind where you order through a plexiglass window. Um,
Oh, that's when you know it's gonna be a good food, right?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at. You could be in St. Louis, you can be in Florida, but if you go and you have to order it through some plexiglass window, you know that's gonna be some fire food.
hmm Dude, I don't want to get too off topic here. There was this gas station when I lived in Texas, right? And the guy who like owned the gas station, he spoke, I want to say Arabic. And like you went down and like kind of like by the restroom, there was like this little window with a plexiglass window, and they had a kitchen back there. And I kid you not, that was some of the best Philly cheesesteaks I ever had.
That's pretty
Is
good.
yeah. So
Well, when we get to the old Texas state, you can elaborate a little bit more because I'm sure that was down by Houston, wasn't it?
oh yeah, but like I don't even remember where it was at, to tell you the truth. It was just near the house. It
Oh,
was
I'm sure if you came down this way and you started going by your old house, you'd be like, "Oh, I know where I'm at now."
that's fair. So that's fair.
That's like if I'd go up to Ohio and into Toledo, I'd be like, "Okay, I know where I'm at."
Yep. I'm in the hood.
What
uh,
is it? What is it? Bank? No, not Bancroft. It's the well, Bancroft is kind of the dividing road, isn't it? Where what the hell is that golf course? Nah, it doesn't matter. I just know that if you cross one side of Bancroft, you're in the hood, and the other side is like $1 million homes.
oh yeah, that's very true. Uh, and I've worked on both sides of Bancroft.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
think I
there's
got like
another
two more things. I don't know how you're looking on your end.
there's a couple of things. I looked at one that's very similar to your sandwich that you just talked about, and it's called the Heart Stopping BLT.
Ooh.
So this was at this Crown Candy Kitchen again in St. Louis. It seems like a lot of things are in St. Louis because you probably have St. Louis and then Kansas City, and there's nothing in between, you know. So you have
Hey,
those two big cities.
I'm gonna
That's
need to
it.
blizzard you real quick. Your mic just dropped by like 70% in volume.
Oh, that's not good. My mic is right there.
I don't
Can you
know.
hear me?
I can hear you. You just got super quiet.
Oh, all right.
So
Well,
you're good.
so yes, like I was saying, basically I have two cities in Missouri and everything else is nothing in between. But this damn BLT, man, I would want to try it just because the average sandwich, and we're talking about an average here, has 14 slices of bacon on that bitch.
All right, what's the name of the sandwich? I feel like this is one of the ones the foodies have to see.
It's called the Heart Stopping BLT, and it's from Crown Candy Kitchen in St. Louis. The kitchen apparently goes through around 200 pounds of bacon a day.
Well, yeah, if you put 14 pieces of bacon on that thing, you're going to.
Yeah, that's probably around like a pound and a half of bacon anyway. So I guess they get them real nice and crispy, and they put it between two slices of Wonder Bread, which apparently Wonder Bread is a super popular Midwestern bread. I mean, I remember having it when I grew up as in the Northeast, but it always wasn't the popular thing.
Bro, it's popular because we grew up poor and Wonder Bread is
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah. You know what? Freaking Kroger and even Walmart bread is cheap as shit too.
True. So this is an example of what this heart
Dude,
stopper looks like.
look at that bacon, man.
Yeah,
Now, the only thing that I would want to not have, and I just don't like it, is it comes with Miracle Whip.
that's
I'm not
fair.
a big fan of Miracle Whip. If they put Hellman's on that bitch, sure, I'll take it 100%. But Miracle Whip just has a weird flavor to me, and I mean, if it's the only thing, I'll suck it up and eat it. But um, dude, this is definitely a heart attack
I mean,
waiting.
I mean, honestly, like let's be honest here. If you had a sandwich that had two pieces of bacon on it and it had Hellman's, right?
Yeah,
Or if they gave you 14 pieces of bacon and put Miracle Whip on it, which one are you gonna go to?
yeah, I'd probably go with the 14 pieces of bacon.
Right?
I'll
Like,
be honest on that.
come on now. It's not like you can smell it from like, you know, not like
Yeah.
they put muck tuck on that or something.
Oh God. Oh, that was a horrible episode.
Yeah.
Learning about that shit.
Yep. So, but yes, this is a silver fork of approval for me because I think I would
Yeah.
have to eat this sandwich with a fork and a knife.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to just pop it into your mouth.
Bro, dude, not with my beard.
Yeah, that's true. You probably have to eat a lot of things with a fork and a knife, don't you?
Yep. I actually had a muffin today that I ate with a fork. In my defense, those of you who have ever been here know the muffins from Costco are just built differently, okay?
Oh man, I remember that Costco.
Yeah. Yeah. That right there is like a death row muffin because like they get you, right? I'm gonna go on a tangent here for a quick second. You have to buy two 6-pack of muffins, right? With a
Yeah.
variety so you can mix and match, but each muffin is probably about like an eighth of a pound. And I seen this the other day because they were on sale. I have to go through 8 1/8 pound muffins in like 3 days, otherwise they expire. So I bought those muffins while they were on death row.
But they were cheaper then.
They were cheaper then, and they're still delicious.
Yeah, I feel like they've got enough sugar in them that they'll be all right.
It'll be okay.
Well, I got another one that I think is apparently super popular, and it kind of goes against all of my Italian background. I love raviolis, and who doesn't, right?
Yes, I wanted to talk about this one.
Well, then let's both talk about this thing because I'm fucking curious to see how someone decided to say, you know what? Let's take these raviolis and let's fucking deep fry them instead of cook them up in sauce and whatnot. So they're called toasted raviolis, but they're actually fucking deep fried raviolis.
Hmm.
So what are your thoughts right off the bat on that?
Look, dude, I'm a huge fan of mozzarella sticks. This is just square shaped mozzarella sticks.
Oh, I I'm not sure about that.
I mean, let's say these raviolis, right? If they're 4 cheese ravioli and they're packed real good, that's just a fancy mozzarella stick.
Yeah, but a mozzarella stick, like when you pull it apart, you can see the cheese because of the different cheese. The cheese in a ravioli is not the same.
It's not the same, but it's equally delicious.
It is, but it's not like a mozzarella stick.
No, it's not.
But I can see where you're coming from
Yeah, you're picking
because
up what I'm putting down.
you could also fill a ravioli with different things though. Like you could have the ricotta in there. You could put some mozzarella. You could put beef in there. Like I guess it depends on what you really want to have
Yeah,
for your filling. So
yeah.
um, I just feel like this is something different.
See, like maybe because one of my favorite raviolis to do is the 4 cheese style ravioli.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of where I'm associating the mozzarella stick for it. But if you had like say a stuffed lobster ravioli that you deep fried, then I can see you maybe being like up in the air about it.
Put your nose up in the air like you snooty bitch. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking lobster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on really what kind of filling you put in there. You're right. You put lobster, you put in some beef or something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, but if you put your cheese in there and you put the mozzarella and then let it, spread out like a mozzarella stick, then okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But they also apparently do it in like an Alabama style white barbecue dipping sauce. So we've kind of talked about that, what the Alabama style is, and it's basically mayonnaise.
Yeah. Now that
um,
that one, that one's gonna not get the silver fork. Okay.
but I feel like we could change some of those dipping sauces out. You know
Oh
what?
yeah.
If you get your four cheese, you mozzarella, dude, throw it in some marinara.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing some meat or something like that, dude, you could probably even do a regular barbecue or some type of like ranch dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it looks like there's some marinara there anyway.
Yeah. Like this is in my stomach cannon, right? Okay, so this is toasted ravioli. Got a little bit of oregano on top. This shell right here, that right there is all cheese, all stuff with cheese. And then the chef was like, you know what? I'm gonna salt bay this bitch with some Parmesan cheese, and then we're gonna serve this with a side of marinara, and that looks delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, still, it's still like I'm used to the old raviolis where you cook them, throw them in the sauce and whatnot. I'd still eat it. I'd still
yeah.
do it. It's still something that I'm definitely gonna do, but it's just not my normal
Hmm.
raviolis,
Yeah,
right?
it's not made by your grandmother by hand. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, I think while we're here talking about things that also aren't entirely normal, I'm just gonna scroll up real quick to get one before we miss it. And this is St. Louis style pizza.
Oh yeah.
Now, I've had pizza cut like this before, and I actually prefer it. Um, this is essentially just square cut pizza. I don't really see anything different with it. They say they use Provel cheese and it has to be cut in squares with thin and crispy crust. Okay, that's fine. It's still delicious. I'm still gonna take it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but there's something we need to talk about here, and that's
And what's that?
concrete.
Oh yeah, your custard.
Now, concrete is so thick that when Ted Drews tipped his frozen custard over, it actually didn't come out of the container that it was in. So those of you who have been to a Dairy Queen, their blizzards, when they do that, it's pretty much the exact same thing, but it appears that it originated from Concrete's frozen custard or Ted Drew's frozen custard's concrete, and it's essentially like vanilla ice cream, and then they do toppings in it. Just I thought it was interesting because this is the first hint of what would be a popular fast food item that we know of that we've actually found. I guess it'd be more of a fast food dessert, but yeah, the old frozen custard.
The old frozen custard. You can't go wrong with that.
Right. Let me see if I
Now,
can Google a better. Keep talking.
now, I mean, I remember having custard as a kid because we had shit, what the hell is that one? The Italian Ritas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just, you know what, custard is pretty good, but I still like ice cream. I think ice cream's better.
That's fair. I uh I also enjoy me like gelato and stuff though.
The old gelatos.
the old gelato. There's another one I'm thinking of. Frozen yogurt. I like me some frozen yogurt.
Some froyo, huh?
Some froyo.
They rip you off though.
Nah, dude. Not if you do it right.
How do you do it right, man? They freaking weigh it by the pound.
Yeah, you make sure you get the ingredients that don't weigh pounds.
Just take it and put it right into your mouth when you
Right?
dispense it from the
You
thing,
know what you
right?
do? All right. So you put one hand up and then you put your bowl underneath, okay? And then you take your other hand and you put it over your froyo so you get all the ingredients that you want. And this works best with solid ingredients, and you're about to find out why. You then take those ingredients and you shove them in your pocket, and then you've got like pocket graham crackers to throw on your froyo. Don't
Yeah.
do that. But if you wanted to, you could.
Oh God.
So this is an example of this employee showing off their concrete from the Ted Drews. And like I said, this is pretty much how they do their blizzards from Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Although, did you see that one video of that person who used to work at Dairy Queen and then they started working at Sonic? And Dairy Queen, you're supposed to like show them that you can turn it over and it's not gonna fall out. Well,
Uh-huh.
that person didn't have like an ice cream drink. They had a fucking like regular like
Oh,
slushy drink, and they turned it over and it dumped out. And they're like, "Oh shit!"
it's funny.
Like I totally get it. You used to so used to doing things like that, but then, dude, how could you not think, this isn't Dairy Queen anymore? And just fucking spill everything.
Maybe it was the second day on the job. His paycheck hasn't came through yet. He was trying to like assert dominance on his boss. Like you fix my paycheck or I go back to Dairy Queen, boss.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
So,
But I gotta talk about a couple of the alcoholic things
yep.
when we're coming to St. Louis. And when you think of St. Louis, what's the first thing that comes to your head, man? Apparently
Nelly.
nothing. Nelly's not from St. Louis, is it? Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, when you're talking about booze, come on,
I'm
man, the king of beers.
Oh, the king of beers hasn't been the king of beers in ages.
I know, but that's the first thing that they branded themselves. And you're talking about Budweiser. Well, and
Budweiser.
Anheuser-Busch, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so Anheuser-Busch is the flagship of Budweiser, and they've been around for a very long time. So they opened in the 1850s, and man, that brewery is fucking gorgeous.
I'm sure it is.
Like they keep that shit top notch. And I mean, you walk through because they have tours, and you can go on a tour. And the cool thing about it is that at the very end, they give you two free beers that you're allowed to have, and it's right off the tap. And they have shit in there that you can't get in like normal stores.
Hmm.
So it's super dope. But man, you get to see the horses in there, those Clydesdales.
I was just gonna be like, are those the commercial Clydesdales or did they have like backup Clydesdales?
Probably both.
Okay.
But man, they have a thing where you can see all the horses, and dude, it is something totally worth it. Even if you don't like Budweiser, and if you love Budweiser, even better. But if you don't, it's still super cool to see how they do everything. And the one thing that I didn't realize is that they use beech wood. So apparently Budweiser like owns as much beech wood as they possibly can, because that's how they do some of their filtering with it.
Oh,
and
okay.
and you can see like how they use some of that, and it's just super cool to go through that tour. And you're like, holy shit, man, this is awesome. And they brew a shit ton of beer. And they have Michelob Ultra, and they have all those other ones that they have, Bud and Bud Light, but they also have like a blueberry, they've got a strawberry one that they have. Those are difficult to find in stores, and I don't even know if they sell them anymore. But dude, at the very end, here, have your 2 beers, and even steal the coins from your friend that doesn't drink, and then you can have 4 beers, and, and you can get drunk before you go to your friend's wedding.
So what you're saying is go with like 6 people, 5 of which that don't drink, and then for the price of admission, you can go out and have yourself a great time.
Exactly.
Uh,
So, but they have a big ass clock tower, and like they tell you all about everything. Now, what I didn't realize is that apparently they have breweries all over the U.S. Like, I didn't know that they had one in Columbus, Ohio. I didn't know that they had one in Houston, Texas, or Los Angeles.
hmm.
Um, but the flagship one is obviously in St. Louis.
San Luis.
So super cool. And then the other thing I want to talk about, and I've been to this place before, so it's a cidery,
Ooh.
and it's the first cidery that was in St. Louis, and it's called Brick River Cidery. And man, it's just this quaint little place, and you can go up to the bar and you can see everything behind the glass. So like they have a glass wall that goes right into where they start brewing stuff. And I was in there with my friend off on like an off day. We were the only people in the bar, and the owner comes out and he's like, "Hey, you want to come back and see our stuff?" And we're like, "Well, fuck yeah, we do." So he wound up pouring us some cider, and then we took it in our glasses and we went back there, and he explained all the stuff. And this guy gets apples from local Missouri places, and then he goes try as far. I think it was as far as Kentucky or something like that, and he gets it shipped in. And he makes a couple different ciders, and the dude was super cool, like super relaxed, kind of hippie-ish guy, but was telling us about the whole entire process. And I just want to shout out to Brick River Cider Company for having a cool ass vibe and cool place. So if you ever get to go to St. Louis, definitely check that place out because they have cool little cool little menu. But Missouri's known for some of those things when it's talking about beer and at least alcohol too.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially if you have your gas stations that can sell you like Captain Morgan.
Yeah. And then, not related to beer, but kind of related to it. Apparently, there's a couple of sodas that are there. One is called Vest Soda. Now, I didn't get a chance to try this, but it kind of looks like a knockoff. It almost looks like Fanta
Okay.
because they have grape, they have orange, they have black cherry. It's been around for about 100 years, and they have cream soda, and apparently it's like the Whistle Orange is their classic one.
Hmm.
But it's apparently only in Missouri, and they've been around for a long ass time. And then the other one is root beer, and they have Fitz's root beer, and this is made in '47, and it's got all the cane sugar, spices, barks, vanilla flavored, and it kind of goes great with a nice little burger. But I didn't even know that they had some of those things, and I kind of want to try it. I wonder if I can buy it and have it shipped.
It's root beer. Yeah, you can.
All right.
What was the other brand you were talking about? I forgot the
Vess.
name. VESS?
Yeah.
Vest Soda. Yep. Looks like you can actually get these shipped from like Walmart and stuff. However, if you feel like paying $30 for shipping, that's
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no
I'm not gonna
thanks.
pay $30 for that.
Right. So they'll have to wait till we're in the hometown. So, but
Yep.
I think that concludes it for today's episode.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some other things that we may have missed, but yeah, I think we covered a lot of the stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm. And if you are from Missouri
Missouri.
and Missouri and we missed something, let us know in the comments. and we can hopefully circle back around to it and talk. But
Yeah,
if you're not from
we need someone
Missouri,
instead of those bots.
yep, maybe one of the sex bots is from Missouri. I don't know. It's not like I'm going into their comment sections, deleting their comments, and being like ASL, you know.
Oh God.
So, however, foodies, we're gonna wrap this one up. It's been a pleasure hosting and talking about food, drinks with y'all today. I have been your host, the Meat Viking, along with my wonderful co-host,
Professor Porkloin.
and we're signing off. We'll see you in the next one.
Yep.